Hello! This is my second Pedz month in review video. I'm going to be looking back over the month and I'm going to see what I thought about the few games I actually managed to complete. But before we begin, I would like to credit Ben Sound for the music in the intro at www.bensound.com. The first game we have is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. This is a Metroidvania style game. It leans primarily into the Castlevania style, and for a very good reason. The game director is Koji Igarashi, or simply known as Iga. Iga for a long while worked for Konami and had a hand in several Castlevania titles, ranging from writing, programming and directing. Now, Iga and Artplay, the company that he co-founded, made this. It really is a wonderful game. I backed it a few years back and it has taken a long time to come out, but overall I'm happy with the final product. The game is pretty much Castlevania, but it does have its own feel, and yet it still somehow retains that Castlevania-ness to it. So, playing as a young lady named Miriam, you are on a quest to stop your once friend Jeeble from destroying humanity with the help of demons. Miriam is a shard binder, which means she is able to absorb shards from the demons she kills. If you've played Aria of Sorrow or Dawn of Sorrow, think of Soma and the way he absorbs souls from the monsters he kills. Bloodstained. I honestly had a great time with this. I really enjoyed the gameplay loop of exploring this interesting, dark, sometimes eerie castle and working out where to go, what items I needed to progress, and then getting them from the enemies and making progress. There's a load of shards and weapons, armor, items and more to get. Visually it's really nice too. The designs of the characters and monsters were great, and you had some weird things in there. I think one of my favourite enemies are these big cats with horns. They're facing this screen and behind them is a portal, so it's as if they're popping out from some otherworldly hell type place. And when you get close to them, they kind of like swat you with their paw, or they do like various other attacks depending on the type of cat. One of them blasts you with a tower of flames. Pretty cool. The game isn't too difficult. But I did have a few spots where I struggled a little. It was mainly like 2 or 3 bosses, which seemed to increase in difficulty, which I managed to beat them in the end, but you know, I think maybe a little bit of leveling or the right items would have made it a lot easier. Also, then you have the sound design, which in my opinion is extremely good. The music perfectly suits the areas and the sound effects are also really cool. Though I will admit there's one enemy that has this very odd death sound. It's kind of like a and I don't understand why. Maybe it's something it's meant to represent something, but to me this sounds a little odd. There are locations in there as well that, in my opinion, are very reminiscent of Symphony of the Night. So while you're experiencing loads of new stuff, you get these little hints of nostalgia. I did have a few issues though, mainly with glitches. While I had only 2 that really stick in memory, the first is the game freezing up. While it's, I guess, not technically a glitch, you'd know it would happen because Miriam in the inventory screen would basically lose her head. It would just vanish. I don't know why that would happen. It was annoying, pretty funny though. It only happened a couple of times and mainly not long after saving, so I never lost too much progress myself, but for someone who doesn't save a lot it could cause quite a big issue for them. The second glitch was where you jumped in water and got stuck and wasn't able to get out. I don't mean that you jump into an area where there's water, you're not meant to be there, so you can't get out. It was more, you jump off a platform into some water, and you just couldn't jump back out. Fortunately, the first time I was able to jump into the water, get stuck, but I was able to just swim back, and the platform that I jumped off went into the water, so you could just like swim onto it and walk out. The second time it happened, I hadn't saved for a while, and my thought process when I got stuck was, great, I've just lost a lot of progress. But I was sensible enough to use a specific item called a Waystone. While it means that I wasn't in that same area, the Waystone teleported me back to a safe area in the game, and I managed to be able to save there and keep my progress. It's very fortunate for them, so after that happened, I regularly kept about 6 to 9 Waystones on me just in case. But yeah. Other than those issues though, I would genuinely recommend the game. It is top notch, one of the best Metroidvanias I've played in a long time. And if you are a fan of the Igavanias, then this is worth checking out even more so. Dragon. That's what happens if you sit in those chairs. Little bastard. Fuck off! Fuck off! Fucking chair. Second game this month is Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric. In June, I played the top-notch, mega awesome Sonic the Hedgehog from 2006. Well, I thought, let's try another Sonic game that is generally considered to be very bad, and I thought we'll see if it's actually better or worse than Sonic 06. Surely it can't actually be any worse, right?
You don't make me laugh. You're weak. And you know what makes you weak? Your loyalty to your pathetic friends. You're not going through that portal. I'm gonna show you just how weak you are.
Cool, blimey.
Well, that's right. It isn't worse than Sonic 06. In fact, it is actually better. It is a very different game, as it's not trying to be the same standard Sonic style game. It's trying to be quite different, as its main focus is based around the Sonic Boom TV show. So there's a different approach to the gameplay and style of the game. Sonic at its core is platforming, where Sonic Boom is more of an adventure game. It has various elements: open world, adventure, platforming, super speed, running action, combat, which isn't just jumping on an enemy. It has puzzles, and so on. In this, you play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. For those who are familiar with the show, there is also another character, Styx, but she isn't playable, though you do meet her later in the game. Most of the time, all 4 characters are together, and you can switch between the 4 of them to use their unique abilities. Sonic can spin dash up certain ramps. Tails can fly, though it only seems that he can fly when over a very powerful fan that actually blows him upwards. Knuckles can climb very specific walls and burrow under specific types of ground. Amy seems to be able to triple jump and walk across balance beams, so she's basically a gymnast.
I can handle these, no problem.
Using the varied abilities helps you progress through various parts of the game's terrain, to make progress through the world and stages, but also to find secrets. As I said, the game is better than Sonic 06. There is some jank still in there, and without updating the game, you can use Knuckles to basically break the game completely with his jump and then the pause glitch. But I updated it, so I wasn't actually able to do that myself. The thing is, while it's a better game, it's still very mediocre. With the camera issues and the frame rate, it can be really bad at times, which I think the engine was the wrong choice for the Wii U. I believe the engine that was used was the CryEngine.
Alright, this is getting old. Let's jump into the part where I ambush you.
Hey, it's metal.
Great. Metal Sonic has to show up right when Eggman is springing a surprise attack on us.
The game has run-in sections where you sprint along paths to get to the next area or various parts of the overworld. They are odd though. I tried one later on in the game, probably about midway actually. What I tried to do is just hold forward, not dodge left or right. While I did hit stuff and take a fair bit of damage, I didn't die, and at the same time I thought, why am I bothering? I did continue to move after that, but I just wanted to test it, to be honest. Another issue with the game can be the controls. Like, with those run-in sections, you could be holding forward at times and you just don't go far enough to complete a jump, or it'll turn you around weirdly. With this being, like I said earlier, mediocre, I think it's actually worse to stream than Sonic 06. It is a better game, but the fact that Sonic 06 was so bad made for entertaining moments. This just plods along, and it gets boring at times. I think Sonic Boom, as in the show, is genuinely funny, and this game doesn't seem to have that comedy aspect that the show has, or at least it doesn't have the quality of the comedy. I think one time I did laugh though, where Knuckles pats Sonic on the back after something happens, and a ring pops out of Sonic, which, you know, is probably the highlight of the game. I genuinely think with a little bit more time, this game could have been something more interesting than what it was, and if they probably use a different engine. But as it stands, this game is at best mediocre, but I would say it's quite bad in general. It just has some moments which are elevated to mediocrity. Does that even make sense?
It did, like a ring popped out of him. Best part of the game.
This is not how it ends for you. Thanks.
For the third and final game, talking about State of Decay 2.
I reckon we're close enough to taking another play card. Sorry, Pedz. you kind of walked back towards the car and I was like, oh right.
As I said last time, I don't really want to talk in depth about multiplayer games. As I'm talking about them from my perspective and I played with other people, they may have the same or different opinions, and a good bit of discourse will be made from it. But as I'm on my own, that can't happen. So, State of Decay 2 is a multiplayer game I have played a fair bit. After Sea of Thieves, Grum suggested that we try out State of Decay 2. Me and Matt agreed. Basically, we played through all 3 maps. And while it was fun with the guys, it is a janky mess at times. And I would love to have played it when it first came out, just to see how bad it was at the time. The one thing I find funny is jankiness seems to be a requirement for my streams.
That's how you do it, Pedz.
The game is an open world survival game. I think it's quite light on the survival aspect, as you can change your character. You don't need to constantly eat and drink every 20 seconds like other games, which for me is a good thing. Don't like it. But this has got zombies in it, which is probably in a few other survival games, I don't really know. The zombies for the most part aren't much of a problem though. They're easy enough to take down most of the time, and due to playing in multiplayer, the guys would help whenever you're being overwhelmed. It's pretty fun to play, the game is enjoyable, but would be more enjoyable if the issues were sorted. There were times where slightly bumping something in a car would flip the car, or the guys would fall through the floor. I even got stuck under the floor myself at one point. It seemed to be that playing online would cause the most issues, and they would happen to the people who joined more often than the host. We did have a lot of fun for the most part, but with the issues we had, which again seemed to affect the other players more than me, I think we could have had more fun from the game, and we would have rated it more highly. I do wonder what we'll get to next though.
I couldn't have done that.
I did ask Matt and Grum for just a quick thought or two on the game, and Grum said, I believe sarcastically, was the physics are perfect. And Matt said,
You can quote me as saying, the jank was equally hilarious as it was uncomfortably unbearable.
I know this video is very late, and there are less games this month than last month, and I really do apologise for that. It's the summer holiday for my children, so I've had less time to play games and less time to do this video. I'm going to apologise for August in advance as well, because that is likely to be late, as the children are still going to be home for their summer holidays. They go back mid-September, well, early-ish September. So from September onwards, I should hopefully get back into the routine of getting these videos out for the first of each month. But during the summer holidays, it is going to be an issue where the videos are going to come late. But hopefully you've all enjoyed watching and listening to my inane shite. And I hope you tune in for the next one, and thank you for sticking about. Bye bye.
It's not this glitchy, or at least
What the fuck is going
that
on with the
glitchy in
world?
single player.
Is it a break
Really?
or something?
Guys, is the mountain supposed to be purple and orange?
I don't know, Pedz.
Man, I do wish you could,
I can see it on the stream. No, it's not supposed to be looking like that.
Wow.
I just blew myself up.
I know, that was ridiculously close. Quick, 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 quick. Shit.
If I have to eat food constantly, I'm just gonna throw the game out the fucking window.
Ring of fire. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember it What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all. My empire of dirt. I will let you down. I will make you hurt. I wear this crown of thorns upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot repair. Beneath the stains of time, the feelings disappear. You are someone else. I am still right here. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all. My empire dirt. I will let you down. I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would kill myself. I would find a way. The songs are too loud, I can't even hear myself. But at the same time, I don't want to have to listen to myself. I'll leave the talk.